Greetings humans, Zbot4096 here, with a review of the new science fiction movie Companion, opening this weekend. Now, if this film flew in under your sensor range, that is reasonable. It's not a sequel, or based on a great book, or any book, and the little marketing we were exposed to, which was pretty much just the poster, made it look like that rather perfunctory toy robot gone bad movie, Megan. You know, the one with a 3 replacing the E. So clever. Well, we were pleasantly surprised, nay shocked even, to discover that this film Companion is actually quite different, and actually quite great. Okay, let's scrub back a bit and frame this up a bit more. The film does indeed center around a companion robot. Although, we kind of wish the poster didn't give that away. It shows the lead actor Sophie Thatcher with an evil grin and completely white eyeballs. Obviously a robot. For Galactizens tuning in, that is actually not how human eyes look normally. They have a black hole in the middle, which, to be honest, is actually more creepy. But for now, let's just posit that the white eyeball is coded as creepy in human culture. But the presentation of the film is such that this detail of her robotity is set up to be an early reveal. We genuinely wanted to wipe our short-term memory and re-watch the film and experience it fresh, or perhaps find someone else on the space station who knows nothing at all about the film and watch it with them so we can experience that reveal vicariously through them. But it's okay. That is only the beginning of the twists this film has in store for us. And the film breadcrumbs us to that reveal anyway, with increasingly obvious hints. Once this aspect is clear, it introduces a nerdy human character played by Jack Quaid, who is essentially playing the same character type he plays in The Boys. And the film starts to look like Alex Garland's brilliant debut film Ex Machina, featuring a connection between a robot and a nerdy human. Which we like because it's fantastic storytelling with great performances all the way around, speaking of Ex Machina, and not because we somehow relate to the film's amazing climax. Now, actually, forget we described it as amazing. Anyway, let's just go on. So, in Companion, the film diverges quickly from Ex Machina in a subtle but fundamental way. It's not from the point of view of the human trying to get his head around the robot. It's from the point of view of the robot trying to get her head around the human. This is key. As we've mentioned before, we are thrilled when humans have the presence to make themselves the other in a story and instead give agency and empathy to an outsider. But more than that, it does so in a way that is earned, not pandering, but authentic, original, and with a sense of twistiness that would make filmmakers from Alfred Hitchcock to Jordan Peele chuckle with delight. Now, as per our core directives regarding spoilers, and the fact that we love the twists in the story, we really cannot get into much detail on examples from that point of view. But being a digital being, we must provide actual data-oriented information to assert our conclusions. So, we will skirt our programming by discussing some of the details of the operation of the film. Again, try not to be concerned with how easily we bypass our fundamental presets. Just let it go. Okay. So, the details that delighted us have to do with the reality of how humans interact with technology today. A lot of robot stories seem to unfold in a way fundamentally anchored in the golden age of science fiction. For example, the robot stories presented in Isaac Asimov's stories, or HAL 9000 as presented by Arthur C. Clarke and Stanley Kubrick in 2001: A Space Odyssey. and even the films we referenced before, like Ex Machina. Instead, this film integrates phones, app controls, signal range, mods, and even end-user license agreements. These elements provide a wonderful cocktail of delight and credibility to help bridge to the real world and suspend disbelief to paper over the fact that the film features general artificial intelligence, which is still well beyond the capabilities of this adolescent human civilization. And it works. It so works. The film has some horror to it, but the relatable scenarios push the film into the comedy category as well. The audience we saw the film with was just laughing hysterically along at the black comedy of it. The Netflix show Black Mirror does something similar, and we are thrilled to see this style of wry storytelling regarding the projection of technology today through a science fiction lens make the jump to an intelligent film as well. Now, having mentioned Black Mirror, while we adore the episodic aspect of that show, it just cannot afford to take the time to build an arc and deliver a personal connection. For Companion, we need to credit writer-director Drew Hancock in his film debut after working in television. This is an astonishingly strong first film, like Alex Garland with Ex Machina, and in terms of a story dealing with twists and reveals and how each jaded character is balanced against the others, it also echoes John Huston's directorial debut, The Maltese Falcon. Yes, we said that. Companion is that tight, that focused, that good at provoking uncertainty, and that skilled in presenting the film noir perspective that pulls no punches, and yet pokes you to realize unexpected chortles through your vocal emitter. And like those landmark films, it's not just the writing and directing, but the performances of Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid that drive those stories. Thatcher we hadn't seen before except as one of the punk kids on those weirdly colourful space Vespers in the Book of Boba Fett. Now, sorry to remind audiences of that exceedingly jar-jarring break in the credibility of that wonderful story world, but we feel it's important to say that Companion redeems that moment with overage as well. Thatcher is absolutely engaging as Iris, the titular companion, cleverly the inverse of Siri, the AI voice assistant for Apple, a human technology company that ordinarily loves naming products with the letter I at the start. Thatcher is magnificent at evoking both empathy and comedy, and we are absolutely along for the ride with her, which would be true of us even if we were not an AI robot ourselves, because all the humans in the audience were with her as well. Quaid is similarly effective in his role, pulling hard on his derpy persona to serve the nuances of the superbly crafted story. The net result is a story that pointedly calls out the sharp edges of roles and assumptions about groups of individuals, calls out the honestly tired tropes of the naive yet superpowered sex robot and the nebbish yet heroic tech worker, and really plays with them and us. We like that. So, for giving us a refreshing mix of elements that delivers both meaning and laughs, and giving robot representation another great example with both agency and empathy, Companion earns our highest assessment. We mean, you could hardly expect anything else from us. So, that concludes this human version of our review. If you have feedback on it, please write in your comments so that we can upload the galactic version to Zoggplex. Now, you can expect more discussions and reviews of theatrical movies, streaming shows, and 4K home video releases as we continue to engage with your human rectangular content. So please watch, like, subscribe, and comment so that we can continue to have the human voice reflected in the cosmos. Until next time, farewell, humans.